$92,000. 92,000. That was the fine Victoria Steele, the iron-fisted HOA president, slapped on me for my backyard chickens. 92 grand. Can you imagine? When she stormed up to my gate, her face twisted like she just caught someone keying her Lexus, I knew it was war. Either my 37 feathered friends would vanish, or I'd have to outsmart her. 3 months later, not only are my chickens still clucking proudly, but Victoria's the one who fled the neighborhood, her fancy house sold at a loss, and she's now dodging a criminal probe by the state's securities board. Never underestimate a man and his hens. My name's Ethan Caldwell, and 5 years ago, I was a burnout tech mogul in Silicon Valley, coding farm software while choking on takeout and fluorescent lights. After selling my startup for what my dad called obscene cash, I craved a reset. At 43, I ditched the 16-hour grind and bought a 2-acre slice of heaven in Meadowbrook Estates, a semi-rural Texas haven with a craftsman home perfect for my new life. The HOA seemed chill during my tour, just enough rules to keep lawns mowed, not to micromanage my existence. Or so I thought. It all started with a whim at a feed store, where a pen of fluffy chicks stole my heart. I brought home 5, named them after rock stars Jagger, the sassy lead hen, and Hendrix, the oddly brilliant rooster, and fell in love. 2 years later, my flock swelled to 37, each with a personality sharper than a spur's. I built them a coop so pristine neighbors dubbed it the Chicken Palace. My next-door neighbor, Lily Harper, a kind-hearted teacher, brought her students to learn about the birds. Old man Frank Dawson, a grizzled ex-Marine across the street, swapped gardening tips and farm stories. I shared eggs with half the block, and nobody batted an eye. Life was good. Trouble brewed when a local paper ran a glowing piece about me. From tech titan to chicken king, Ethan Caldwell's new groove. Spotlighting my flock after I got invited to a farm-to-table fair. The next morning, Victoria Steele, the HOA's new dictator in heels, marched into my yard, clutching a clipboard like a battle axe. "Mr. Caldwell," she sneered, "this farm operation violates our covenants. 3 pets max, no livestock. You've got 30 days to ditch all but 3 chickens, or it's due law 100 per day per extra bird." I blinked, stunned. 34 chickens at due law 100 each? That's due law 3,400 daily, due law 102,000 a month. This is a neighborhood, not a barnyard, she hissed, claiming complaints about smell and noise. Lies. My coop was cleaner than her soul, and neighbors raved about it. Fuming, I called Lily, who rushed over with Frank. "This is nonsense," Lily snapped. "Your chickens are better kept than most people's kids." Frank, sipping his coffee, muttered, "She's not the negotiating type." I pored over the HOA rules, finding vague clauses about common pets and no commercial livestock. My hobby flock fell into a gray area, but Victoria wasn't playing fair. Lily connected me with her cousin, Nathan Reed, a property lawyer who loved crushing petty tyrants like Victoria. "HOAs have power," he said, eyes glinting, "but not unlimited. Let's get creative." At the HOA meeting 2 weeks later, the community center buzzed with curious neighbors. Victoria, flanked by her lackey, Vice President Tom Wheeler, and other board members, painted me as a rogue farmer tanking property values. "If we allow 37 chickens, what's next? Cows? Llamas?" she scoffed, earning chuckles. I countered calmly, highlighting my coop's cleanliness, the eggs I shared, and how Lily's students learned from VY6. Neighbors backed me. Mrs. Clara, an 80-year-old widow, said my eggs and chickens gave her daily joy. Even Tom, who'd bought my eggs, squirmed under Victoria's glare. Nathan dropped the first bomb, pointing out the HOA's pet rules were murky. "Chickens are pets in many places when not raised for profit," he said, citing towns that allowed backyard flocks. When Victoria snapped, "They're poultry, not pets," board member Dr. Rachel Kim, a therapist, mused. "What about rabbits? Fish? It's not black and white." The room erupted in debate, and Victoria, losing grip, scheduled a vote for next month on enforcing the rule. Reduce your flock as good faith. She sneered at me. Fat chance. Outside, Nathan pulled me aside. Ever heard of the Fair Housing Act? He asked. Emotional support animals override pet restrictions, no species limits. My jaw dropped. Could my chickens be therapy animals? Rachel, who'd seemed sympathetic, agreed to assess my flock. She spent hours watching me with the birds, noting how their care calmed my post-tech stress. This is a full therapeutic ecosystem, she said, impressed by Jagger's soothing strut and the routine structure. She signed off on certifying my flock as the Meadowbrook Therapy Chicken Collective. We didn't stop there. I hosted therapy sessions, inviting neighbors to experience the chicken's magic. Kids with autism relaxed, stroking hens. Seniors like Clara found new purpose VY sighting. A local reporter, Sarah Miles, wrote a VY RAL piece. Therapy Chickens Meadowbrook's Wellness Revolution, framing my fight as a stand against outdated rules. Victoria hit back, sending a legal notice to her attorney, Diane Holt, calling my claim frivolous, and demanding I ditch 34 chickens in 14 days. She called an emergency meeting, accusing me of mocking disability laws. Things got wild when Victoria threatened a county health inspection, betting my coop would fail. Joke's on her. Inspector Greg Tate, a no-nonsense veteran, called my setup the gold standard, and issued a glowing compliance certificate. Victoria, hovering like a vulture, got a call during the inspection. I overheard her snap. Move funds from the Oak Ridge account to cover the 8 fan tram returns. They won't notice. Sketchy. Lily dug online and found Victoria posing as an unlicensed wealth coach for divorcees, with no credentials, a clear HOA violation for running a home business. At the emergency meeting, Victoria went nuclear, pushing to expel me via rare community disruption clause, even roping in Deputy Mayor Laura Bennett, her college pal, to hint at zoning issues. The packed room crackled with tension. Victoria's team slammed my therapy claim as a sham. Laura suggested my flock broke city rules. I shared my story, how the chickens saved me from burnout, how kids and seniors thrived in therapy sessions. Nathan dismantled their legal arguments, and Rachel vouched for the program's legitimacy. Then came our counterstrike. I stood voice steady. Before we vote on my expulsion, let's discuss another covenant violation, Section 12, no unregistered home businesses. Nathan handed out EVY Denke of Victoria's shady wealth coaching, complete with social media posts and client reviews. Gasps filled the room. A man stood. Paul Grayson, Texas Securities Board. I'd like a word with Ms. Steele. Victoria paled. Laura backpedaled, claiming no ties to Victoria's schemes. The board voted to oust Victoria as president and pause my fines. She was swarmed by angry neighbors demanding answers about their investments. Victoria's empire crumbled fast. The securities board found she'd run an illegal advisory business, mismanaging funds. She sold her house at a loss and skipped town, slapped with a 5-year industry ban. Meadowbrook's HOA rewrote its rules, allowing small flocks with guidelines. My therapy program, Meadowbrook Healing Feathers, became a community gem, with doctors referring patients and researchers studying its benefits. Lily and I grew close, our shared fight sparking a romance. On the anniversary of Victoria's first VY sit, the HOA honored me with a plaque. To Ethan Caldwell, for redefining community wellness. As Jagger and Hendricks led their flock into the sunset, I grinned at Lily. Sometimes, to protect what you love, you gotta ruffle some feathers. Her laugh mingled with the hen's soft clucks, a VY Tory song for our unlikely rebellion.